Hi everyone. Today's video is all about control because right now in the world we're all feeling pretty out of control. I guess the first thing to embrace about this is that control is essentially an illusion, despite how we might carry ourselves in our day-to-day life and feeling like we've kind of got everything under control. Essentially it is an illusion, and I think that's something that's really being demonstrated in the world right now, and it's making people feel really out of sorts, uncomfortable and fearful. Part of the reason for that is that control really is something that comes from the ego, because the ego is not a bad thing. It's an essential part of our conscious and subconscious mind that's actually trying to keep us alive. That's the primary role of the ego, is to actually maintain the organism, us, and make sure that we are still functioning and alive for as long as possible. So that's where that drive and that need for control really comes from. The other problem that we've got is that we're existing in a state of anxiety because there's so much unknown in the near future, in the immediate future, but anxiety really exists in the future. And anxiety comes from this sense of worrying that something's going to happen that's not actually necessarily in the here and now. And so there's no reason to beat yourself up about this. We're all feeling it. You know, even the most evolved humans on the planet are really aware of this at the moment. The problem is that anxiety feeds anxiety. So the main topic of the video today is, rather than looking at control and something that we really actually can't control, which is trying to maintain control, is really to look at what we can be doing to just feel better about everything and to try and stay as much as possible in the present moment. And the key word really is consumption. I'm going to talk about consumption in a few different ways, but consumption is looking at the variety of ways of what we allow from the external world to actually come into this organism, our system, you know, breaching our skin barrier, breaching our mind barrier, if you will. So consumption, there's a lot of stuff available out there in the world that we can be consuming in various ways right now. So first of all, I just want to talk about obviously the media and social media, and there's a plethora of content available, and it's getting more and more each day as people are further separated. We're trying to find ways to reconnect and come together, and social media and engaging in content is a way that we're trying to do that. So just remember that your thoughts create your feelings, and that creates your reality. It really is that simple. Our brain actually does not know the difference. I should say our nervous system does not know the difference between something that we're imagining in our mind versus something that is actually happening in front of us. Our nervous system hasn't learned or isn't wired to actually see the difference between those two. So if you're imagining a lot of chaos and living in the future and picturing some, you know, distress and problems that might be associated with that time, that's the state that your nervous system is going to be in, which is not a great state. It's a state of stress, it's a state of fight and flight, and it's not good for our immune system. So as much as you can, look at what your thoughts are, look at what your feelings are. Have thoughts that are going to encourage positive feelings, and that's going to feed into your brain and your mind and your nervous system believing those things to actually be the current reality. So it's an interesting little hack that you can try. It's very, very simple, and try and do this as much as you can throughout the day. And that also includes consuming more positive content. So finding things that have more of a grain of positivity through them. It is important to stay informed right now, and you can be informed without even really trying to. We're just being bombarded with information. But throughout all of that, find some things that keep it light for you, that keep some positivity. That may be getting onto YouTube and watching some crazy cat videos, finding things that make you laugh, that keep it light. One of my beautiful friends sent me a fantastic video this morning, and it really, really just lifted my mood. It made me laugh out loud, and it just completely changed everything in the moment. And sure, that lasted for a little while. So try and do that as much as you can. And take responsibility for what you're actually putting out there for others to consume. So are you putting a lot of scaremongering and negative content out there? You might not be intending to cause any harm to people. You might be merely coming from a place of wanting people to be informed, but maybe take some responsibility for what you're propagating, because where you send something, it will have a flow-on effect, because then you're actually creating a reality for someone else who will then create a reality for someone else, and so on. So how do we stay present? Present moment awareness. So mindfulness is huge right now. It's such an amazing tool, and you don't have to have done anything in the mindfulness realm to actually be able to use this in your day-to-day. Some super simple things that you can do, first of all, is a body scan. So that really takes you into the present moment. You can do that if you're standing in your kitchen, if you're sitting on the couch, even if you're walking around. Just take a moment. Close your eyes if that's practical, but you don't have to, and just bring your mind's awareness to parts of your body and essentially scanning through your body. You might want to do this systematically, working from your feet all the way up to your head, or from the top down, whatever feels okay for you. And all you're really doing is bringing your mind's awareness, for example, to your right hand. And what's going on in my right hand right now? What can I feel? What can I sense there? And moving on through your body. By the end of doing a full body scan, you should feel a lot more centered and in the moment and present. Your breath is another one. I talk about the breath a lot, so if you want to look into that in more detail, please check out some of my other videos. But the breath is something you can use. It is moment to moment. That is the nature of our breath. If you stop breathing, your moments are over. So each breath takes you into a new moment. So be present with that. And slowing the breathing down is a fantastic tool as well, especially the exhale. Make it longer than your inhale. Instantly starts to calm down the nervous system very, very effectively. Another simple thing you can do, what's really important right now, keep your hydration up. Make sure you're drinking lots of water. It's fantastic for our immune system. So each time you have a glass of water, each time you are having any sort of fluid, tea, coffee, you know, whatever, try to lay off the coffee. It's a bit anxiety provoking if you're prone to that. But when you're having that water, be really, really present with that time that you're drinking. Notice how the glass feels between your lips. Notice the temperature of the water. Notice all the mechanisms in your mouth and your throat that are actually enacting that swallow of that water and allowing that to happen. Maybe you can sense the feeling of the water going down your esophagus and landing in your stomach. And maybe being aware of the feeling that you have after you've finished your glass of water. Drinking it slowly, drinking it with full presence. And doing this throughout the day, taking these moments. You can set little reminders on your phone. I really love doing this. So you might want to look at periods of the day where you think it might be easier for you to have a little alarm go off on your phone, and make sure that you put a title on that alarm. So it might simply be present, be positive, everything's going to be all right. Just simple sayings like that that will just remind you and pull you out of the external, pull you out of this future guessing and back into the present moment, where in reality, for the majority of us, right now, everything's okay in this present moment, right in the here and now. Let's get back to other forms of consumption. Diet. So what is everybody eating right now? Comfort food is going to be calling you strongly. I know we're all feeling that, but just try and be aware that what you're putting into your body is the fuel that you're giving your body. So if you're eating a lot of, I guess there's a great term out there which you may or may not prescribe to, low vibration. So, you know, fast food, processed food, it's kind of low vibration food. If you want to think of it more of its life force or vitality, it's been so heavily processed, there's no life in that food anymore, versus something like a carrot that you pull directly out of the ground. It's still vital, it's still alive. So when you're actually fueling your body with those foods that are more aligned with life, nature, the planet, our plants, then that's going to give your body a fantastic energy to consume, and those nutrients are going to allow your immune system to be at its absolute best. Particularly the colors of food. This is a really, really interesting theory in Chinese medicine and other areas. Consuming things like yellow and orange foods actually are mood lifters. Just like sitting in the sunshine lifts our mood, consuming those food colors can also lift our mood as well. A great thing to try. And maybe while you're eating that delicious yellow piece of fruit, some pineapple or something, be mindful. Notice how that pineapple feels in your mouth. Notice the sweetness, notice all those qualities. Be present with that moment and enjoy that food. The last thing that I'll probably talk about is moving. So moving is really important. In Australia right now, we don't actually have a lot of restrictions other than sort of gathering in social spaces. I'm not going to go into my opinions around that because that's not the tone of this video. But what we do need to do is keep moving our bodies. And just because you're stuck indoors does not mean that you can't move. If you have stairs in your house, use the stairs, get on those stairs and move. Gentle movement. We don't want to actually stress our bodies out too much. You don't want to be going really, really crazy and hard at it if you're not used to actually exercising at that sort of intensity, because you don't want to wear down your system. But moving, getting up maybe a really gentle sweat is really, really important. And now is the time to get out there and get on these amazing apps and online classes. The number of online classes has skyrocketed. I myself, tomorrow night, I will be teaching an online yin and nidra class because my studio is closed right now. It has been closed for over a week because I believe that that's the correct decision that I needed to take in order to keep the public and myself healthy and safe for as long as possible. So there's lots of platforms out there. There's lots of studios and places that are actually moving all of their content online. So get on there, support them, and support your body in doing so. Final little thing, what are my ears doing? They're another way that I consume, another sense of my body. So look at playing amazing music. Music is such an instantaneous way to tap into a feeling. If you listen to a sad love song, then you're going to feel a little bit melancholy. But if you listen to a track that just makes you feel so amazing, do that. And another really powerful thing is choose music not around right now, where we've sort of got this tone of distress and anxiety. Listen to music you haven't listened to in years that took you to a different time and a different place, that reminds you of youthfulness and vitality and a great time in your life. Listen to that stuff. Create little playlists for yourself and grab onto those tunes when you're having a moment as a little bit of a reset. Also, what else can we grab with our ears? Podcasts. There is so many out there, and choose what you love. So there's so many topics. You can choose a topic that you're interested in and make sure that it's something that's positive and uplifting, and use those podcasts that are available to you. One final way I've also mentioned before in my stress busting video, and I think also my sleep video, is binaural beats. Download some of these. Binaural beats are incredible to completely shift your mindset. It can actually allow you to rest and recover if you're feeling sleep deprived and having disturbed sleep right now, all the way through to getting you in a flow state and getting you into a really energetic state and energetic space. So many tools out there. Watch what you are consuming. This is one area that you have complete control over. What you're consuming and what you're putting out there for others to consume. What you're putting in your body, what you're doing with your body. Look at all these areas, go back through this video, pick out the little bits that resonate with you that will help you through this time. Wishing you all the very best in your health, and stay connected. Subscribe to my videos. Content will continue to be coming through. Have a great day.